Let's talk about these Hollywood heavyweights. To me, they're becoming the true power couple in Hollywood. It's Jada Pinkett Smith, who's incredibly talented in her own right, and obviously Will Smith as well. They're opening up about the depth of their love in the second part of Jada's show that everybody's buzzing about, Red Table Talk. It's an interview on Facebook. Take a listen to this.
Exactly. If you don't love yourself,
right, that's real
we
talk.
expect people to love us more than we love ourselves. We expect other people to do the work for us.
Yeah.
I definitely went through that with Will.
Yeah.
I thought it was his job to make me feel a certain way.
You know what? You are free to go make yourself happy, and you do anything.
Yeah.
Anything you want to make yourself happy, and you bring your ass back here happy just to show me that it's even possible.
Reminds me of someone being like, have fun. We're gonna have fun. No,
so
I like
they
what
were
he's
talking
saying.
about a time in their marriage around her 40th birthday. I think she's late 40s now. And she just wasn't happy. And it's like, why wouldn't you be happy? You're Will Smith's wife. You have this big home. You have two beautiful children. And she just wasn't happy. She had to find that for herself.
Yeah, to me, this is interesting. To me, it's a version of a prenuptial agreement. And not in the sense of money, right, that gives you that security in case it doesn't work out, but gives you that happiness in case it doesn't work out. How many times have you seen in divorce when it doesn't work out, the person's like, well, I invested everything in them. I don't know what my own happiness is. I don't know what my own value is. I'm kind of sitting here like, I don't know what to do. This relationship didn't work out. So that's why I call this a prenup in its own right. Be your own person. Just because you found love and you found that life partner doesn't mean that's your life. Your life needs to remain being your own life.
You're responsible for your happiness.
I feel like it's easy to be codependent too, especially if you're really into that person. Like you really like hanging out with them. Like sometimes I found myself like just sort of waiting around to see what my boyfriend wants to do. And like, I don't want to be that way. I try to be a strong, independent woman all the time, but I don't know. I don't like that I do that, but it does happen from time to time. And he's like, I don't want you to be like that. And then it like gets me in check. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go have a good, fun solo day. I have so much fun by myself. It's not that I can't love being by myself, but you do slip into that. And I think it's really good to be aware of that and be like, I love myself first, and then we can love each other, and then your relationship is so much stronger.
Sure.
And I think it's easy for, and I know everybody does it, but I think it's so easy for women to do this because you're giving to your husband, you're giving to your children, and you're not hanging out with your friends. You're not doing the things that you love to do just because you love to do them.
Yeah.
It's so important that it's a priority.
Well, and the one thing that I've learned in our young life together, I'm engaged right now, setting up to be married.
Oh,
and
you're engaged?
We have never heard about this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We like hearing it.
I apologize for sharing my life here on the show.
No, we like it.
But it breeds resentment at the end of the day. Like if you are putting all your eggs into somebody else's basket, and that minute that you realize this person can't make me happy, resentment builds. And when resentment builds, contention builds, and that breakup inevitably happens. So I think this is a huge lesson. I love that Will brought some levity to the situation, obviously joking around, because it seems like that's a household that has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But what they're doing with this show is truly groundbreaking to me, because I think people want to get up there and talk about how they're living their best life with their significant other, and oh, it's all peachy keen and it's this and it's that. But that's not reality. You can really identify with them because you're seeing the true pitfalls and the cracks.
Oh, and just to clear up, they clarified, because these have been rumors for years. They have never been Scientologists, never. They have also never, ever been swingers, and they have also never, ever thought about divorce. These have all been rumors over the last 2 decades. So they clarified for us.
There for the receipts. Thank you very much on that one, Felicia. Fellow comedian Tiffany Haddish opened up about her love life and shared some details about her worst date ever, which was about a time when the man she was with smelled so bad she had no choice but to tell him. So I think this is a pretty funny story. Vintage Tiffany Haddish, right?
Yeah.
Totally. I went on a pretty bad date once. I met this guy on the subway in New York City, and he was really attractive, and I was obsessed with the idea of like meeting someone randomly in this like total like happenstance
Are you a hopeless
way.
romantic?
I feel like I'm more of a realist, but I was just like, it would be so fun to meet someone, you know, like, I think of that movie Made in Manhattan where she walks and she trips with her foot stuck in the grate on the streets of New York. And I was like, it's like that. Anyways, met up with a guy. He was so scary when I actually met up with him.
Really?
He told me also, he's like, oh, when I met you, I thought you were a 7. And then I Googled you and saw what you do, that you're on TV, and you're like an 11 now. And I was like, oh, great compliment, dude. He ended up living
Not very good at his compliments.
No, living right across the street from the place that he chose for dinner, asked me, he said, oh, my dog's been inside all day. Let's go let him out. And I was like, I don't think so.
So
I
did he own an
waited.
animal, or was this like innuendo?
Guess what? I didn't find out. I waited. I was like, here, I'll wait outside. I'm not really comfortable with that. You go inside and get the dog, and then we'll take a walk. And then I was waiting for him, and I was like, wait, I don't have to do this. And so I just took off running down the
Get out of there.
street, jumped in a cab, and was like, I'm out. Got a lot of missed calls after that, but freed myself.
There you go.
Yeah, poor state.
She ran before it got in too deep. I feel you. No, I don't know if I would ever be this forward to tell somebody that they stink on a date. But I think after a while, you just get tired. You get tired of everybody doing crazy stuff, and I want to use some other words right now, but you get tired of other people's stuff. That's a nice word.
Yeah, well, I think in today's world with the dating apps and the cycle of which how first dates are happening at such a rapid pace, my fiance's got some really close girlfriends who are going through this whole dating thing through the apps and
what do they
realizing that
say?
some guys are dogs, are just looking for the easy fix and just want that intimacy right away and have no true interest in building. So I think, women and men are going through dating nowadays saying, I'm just going to weed out the BS. I don't have time to sit here and play nice. You're messing with this clock I'm on.
I didn't know we could say that. Can we say that word? That's the word I wanted to use.
BS?
Don't
That's
say
an
those
initial.
letters.
I think you could say that.
Don't say those letters.
So for me, as you look at it, I think people are just saying, hey, the guy smells bad. I'm telling him he smells bad, and I'm keeping it moving.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Goodbye.
find somebody who smells good enough on a first date where we can get actually to the meat and potatoes
Which is
of it
probably
all.
the best it's ever going to be. Let's be straight, right?
Absolutely.